teenagers? I have two. And if you have teenagers or ever had teenagers, they always get on your nerves. My daughter. Daddy, can I have some nail polish? Can you buy me some nail polish? My son. Daddy, can you buy me a video game for PlayStation? Daughter. Daddy, I need money to get my hair fixed. Son, I need a new Xbox. I'm tired of PlayStation. I'm like, ugh. Just sucking all the money out of my pocket. I'm like, why don't you just get it over with and just take my check? So I don't have to listen to you anymore. And one day it happened. There was silence. My kids they were not talking to me. You know what I said to myself? I get to save money. Because they're not asking for anything. In a few months, when they stopped talking to me, my wife came home. She saw me laying in the bed, and she figured out something just not right with this guy. It was so bad, she said, I'm calling 911. And they came to pick me up. Now, I don't remember much about that, but I do remember the paramedic said, Mr. Matthews, is there anything else wrong with you? I said, I said, yeah, that woman over there is getting on my nerves. They said, Mr. Matthews, you're going to get us fired. So I still had my sense of humor. And another thing I remember about that night, when I'm in the hospital, they had done their test, and the doctor came in. She said, Mr. Matthews, I have bad news. You have a brain tumor, and it's nice and large. She said, but the good news is non-cancerous. I said, okay, you take it out. Whatever you got to do. So on November 5th, I had the surgery. And it was spectacular because here I am. I'm here. And during that time, because I was being crazy before then, my daughter was put in debutante. And she was doing her thing, I was doing my thing, trying to recover. My wife and I went to orientation for therapy, and we're all excited because now I'm in a program to get better. So we come out, call my daughter on the speakerphone. He said, guess what, Devin? We just left therapy orientation, and your daddy's going to be better because they're going to make him better. She said, Mommy, did you tell them Daddy was crazy? I couldn't get mad. Well, therapy went on, went to the debutante's ball. All of us were involved. My son was her escort. My wife was happy because she was a debutante at one time. She was happy that my daughter was a debutante, and I was still walking around. I get to dance with my daughter. We went all through the hoopla. It was all over. And then they had this little contest within the cotillion, the debutantes. It was 35 girls, and they needed to write an essay. And that essay, the best essay, whoever wrote the best would win a scholarship. And she came to us, she said, I don't know what to write, because she's not that prissy type girl, and she don't lie. She don't know how to. And I said, Devin, what do we always tell you? Tell the truth. Regardless of what you have to say, tell the truth. She went in her room, did the essay, and came back and said, Mom and Dad, I'm finished with my essay, and I told the truth. We both looked at her like, oh. Because my daughter's a little kind of like me. This speaks what's on her mind. Well, we got a call from that organization. And they said, guess what? Your daughter won the scholarship. And we looked at each other like, are you serious? And the women said, it had us in tears. And my wife read it, and she said it had her in tears. I didn't read it, because I didn't want nobody to see me cry. So I just let it lay over there, and one day I picked it up. And the first line on that essay was, I didn't want to be a debutante. But my mom was a debutante, so I had to be a debutante. And she was telling me everything's going to be all right, and you will enjoy it. And she had her idea how it was, and I had my idea, and it wasn't her idea. All those girls in there, all prissy, weighing 120 pounds, looking good. They all got the rich parents, and they got the nice dresses, and here I am about 160. I look odd. And I didn't talk to those girls much because they kind of went to school together, and they had things to talk about. I could have went up and talked to them, but I was afraid. She's a shy girl. Even though when she gets to talking, she can't stop. And she wrote, when I started reading further, she said, well, there was a reward of being a debutante after all. My brother doesn't live with us, so I got to see him every week. I would look out the glass as I was practicing to see my mom beaming, and that made her happy that I was doing this, and that warmed my heart. And my dad and I went from not speaking to actually bonding. We didn't have a relationship at all, but we rekindled our relationship during the continuum. So the greatest reward about it is that the debutante ball brought my family back together. And you know, that little girl called me today. I was like, hello, what is it this time, Debbie? She said, I'm just calling. She said those 4 words that I love to hear. I love you, Daddy.